Oh, it does glow, just at night. Ah, that looks really cool. Yep, I love this planet. Love this game. Admittedly, I had been letting my frustration towards the nature of expeditions and stuff heavily alter my view of the game. Part of why I'm doing this is to kind of restore my enjoyment of the game by effectively disregarding the aspects I don't like. I was working around them. Because I do really like this game. I guess you could say I don't like the principle associated with limited time content and all that. It reminds me too much of like modern AAA development and that kind of stuff, where so much of the games are designed around just trying to make you spend huge amounts of time playing them and milking you a bunch of money and all that. And even though it's not the case with this one, it's just the fact that that element is still there and it's reminiscent of that. But I do still need to remember that that's not the entire game. It still has these entire other modes that are great. It's just the, I guess, fear of missing out aspect that I don't like. Well, it's just one single system in this game full of different systems. I mean, it's not even this full system. I don't necessarily mind the expeditions themselves. It's just one aspect of a singular system that I don't like. And luckily, I'm playing on PC, so I can just use a save editor or something to get rid of the issues, or get rid of the need to do the aspect I'm not fond of. Because, you know, anxiety and difficulty focusing and all that kind of stuff. That is where a lot of my distaste for that, for the limited time content, for the anxiety associated with loading it up and seeing the timer counting down every time I load up. Even if, like, I know it's got plenty of time and all that kind of stuff, but just the fact that there's a time limit at all, it makes me feel unpleasant. Which is why I'm not doing the expedition, why I don't do them. I prefer instead to work around them using the save editor. It's pretty much the only thing I use the save editors for, unless I get particularly impatient with some certain aspects. But even then, I'm generally just prefer to take my time with this game. Because that's what this game is, for me at least. It's a game to sit back and wander and explore and see what there is to see. Interact with all these different systems that all work together beautifully. Explore different freighters. Be a part of this big old universe, this bizarre place. But when the aspects of modern game design start leaking through, that thing alone is what takes me out of the experience. It's where some of the magic is lost. On me, at least. I know a lot of people seem to like them, and I mean, more power to them, I guess. I disagree with you heavily, but if you enjoy this, then... or if you enjoy those specific things, then sure, have fun. But I will, until my dying breath, wish that those things weren't time limited. That you could just do them whenever they want. Like, my ideal would be if they were treated like a separate challenge mode or something. Where, like, instead of... that was a waste of time. I should have just sold them. Where instead of having the limited amount of time to do them, you could just load it up. Like any other style of save, and it would just be like maybe an extra challenge. Like I know I think it was Leviathan. That one had the permadeath. And while that does have its own issues with how buggy this game is, like, that would be neat if I could just have that available as a separate challenge type mode that I get rewarded for doing, without having to worry about any time limits or arbitrary restrictions like that. That was just there for me to play whenever I wanted to. I would have no problem with it. I'd love it. It would be awesome. It's literally just because there's a unnecessary time limit. Because now, that particular challenge, I can't do. All because I wasn't in the mood to play the game at that time. And I don't think I should be punished for that. Because, I mean, games are supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be something you enjoy. They're a hobby. You shouldn't be punished just because you don't feel like doing a particular hobby at a certain time. It's a complicated matter, I guess. And again, I know plenty of people disagree with me. I mean, I made the mistake of making a Steam discussion regarding the matter, and everyone was talking about, oh, just don't play them if you don't like them. And oh, there's 2 months. How could you have an issue with that? Or they're just cosmetics. Then they don't affect gameplay in any major way, so it shouldn't be an issue that you miss out on them. Ignoring the fact that, you know, customization is an aspect that a lot of people specifically like, including myself. I really like customization. I mean, I'm using one of the expedition rewards as my cape currently because I really like the way it looks. But I don't like having to do something when I don't want to. Having to do an aspect of a game at a certain time for no other reason than the devs said you have to do it now. That I don't like. Because, I mean, as is, the expeditions are largely a grind fest. You do a bunch of random tasks and get some stuff for it. Which, I mean, could describe this entire game, but the fact that there is that weird time limit. I don't like it when games try to replace a job, effectively. I don't like it when I have to play in order to avoid missing out on something or anything like that. If I play a game, I want to play it because I enjoy it. That's why I play indie games most of the time, because that's how they're designed. You hop on and there's not some features forcing you to play or forcing you along to do XYZ every day or something like that. They're a game. You hop on and you play when you like. You take your time with it, do what you want. Maybe it's challenging, maybe it's easy, maybe it's chill. And that's fine. It's a game for game's sake. It's just supposed to be fun. That's why I play. Because they're fun. I mean, I feel like I've been kind of silent for a lot of the stream just because I've been focused. I've been enjoying my trip through the singular star system that I've not even left this entire stream, and I've been streaming for over an hour now. I've just been taking in the sights, seeing what there is to see. Like, I have to emphasize, like, time and time again, I love this game. It's great. I don't always want to play this specific one. And a lot of the times those expeditions come around, it's when I'm not feeling like playing it, regrettably. And while I have access to a save editor, I can get around it. What about the people who can't? Well, the people who picked up the game late. Now they just have all those question marks in their customization interface that they can't access. Unless maybe they decide to bring it back, which I do know they brought it back. Or they brought the expeditions back for a while at the end of the year. Under an even stricter time limit, to my understanding. But if they don't, if the game stops development at some point, then, and they don't implement some way of revisiting them, that content just won't be available to them on console.